when you request a recommendation letter from someone, whether it be a coach, a teacher, a mentor, or an employer, whoever it might be, just remember that they might not know about everything you're involved in and all your accomplishments. So if you have some sort of like resume or activities list or something to share with them, or even something that you want to make sure they put in that letter, it doesn't hurt to give them a copy of that, because it will help them write a better letter for you. And there's no shame in doing that, because people do that all the time. And I know that when I write a recommendation letter, I know that they're involved in other things, but I don't always know the details. I don't know how long they've been in those programs. So I do ask for that, because I want to make sure I mention it when I write that letter. And I want to just highlight their best assets, and their involvements and contributions to their community. So make sure you have that ready when you ask for a recommendation letter. Help them out with something like that, because they'll come back to you with a much better letter.
Very true. So then in November, we encourage students to maybe start finalizing their list of colleges that they want to apply to, start filling out their college applications, start submitting. Once they do start doing their applications, they need to get their required documents. Some applications will require a transcript, even though it's not a final transcript. It'll help them make their decisions sometimes just even off that partial transcript. There's other documents that different colleges might require. So SAT scores and things like that, you need to get those sent in for admission. So start gathering all of that, make sure you have it so that it's easy to send once you submit your application. And then also this, again, this is a part of the required documents, but letting your counselors know ahead of time so that they don't get overwhelmed and swamped and not be able to get your stuff in on time when they need to get it in. December, I like to encourage students to really finish up applications and get them submitted, even though it's not, whoopsie, sorry about that. Even though it's not, a lot of them aren't due till maybe February 1st. I really encourage students to get this part done so they can relax and take a deep breath, and they're so nervous, and they can spend their time working on other things like scholarships. It's also a good time to start thinking about maybe you need to do a couple more tours, and if you can't go and see the college in person, maybe do some virtual tours. A lot of websites for colleges now have amazing virtual tours, so students can kind of go and check out things about the college on their webpage. I really encourage students to look through the webpage. You can learn a lot about an institution just from there, see what types of activities and fun things to do, if there's things that interest you, so that's always important. Start making a list of the scholarships and when they're due, put that into your master calendar so that you don't miss those deadlines. You can't win a scholarship if you don't turn it in on time. So that's a really important thing to be aware of. And then you can start writing your essays for some of your scholarships and get some teachers to help you go over them with you. So it's kind of spreading this stuff out over some time is great, instead of waiting till all the deadlines to rush and get things done. In January, it will be time for registering for selective service. If you're 18, you can also register to vote. Those types of things can start happening. And then you'll also want to start filling out the OSAC scholarship application online for all Oregon scholarships. There's one application, hundreds of scholarships. There's also a really cool Facebook group. If you go in and like the OSAC Facebook group, they'll send updates and tips and reminders about all of their scholarships and the things they have going on, and tips and tricks for seniors as well. So I think all the different places that you can get that information, the better. Then we're going to move into February, March, springtime. Oops, as I go too far, sorry. February, go ahead and continue with scholarships. We really encourage students to just keep on that. Finish OSAC to meet some of the early bird deadlines. March, file your taxes if it's applicable. Parents need to file so that you're ready to go when it comes time to fill out FAFSA for the next fall. And then start watching for a lot of college communication right about now. You're going to be getting a lot of information about financial aid, award letters, admissions, next steps. A lot of correspondence will be coming in from the different institutions. And then in April, you're going to start making some more of your final decisions. So a housing decision, fill out applications. You're going to be probably getting all of your award letters by the month of April, so you can start comparing them and making a final decision on to where you might want to attend. Pay if you do make your final decision, which you have to by May anyway. Pay a tuition deposit to secure your place. Sign up to attend your summer orientation so you can get a good date, and then get back into the counselor's office and get your transcripts ready to be sent after your final transcripts come out.
Jennifer, could we pause right here really quick? So one thing I want to mention, just for the parents who are watching this, and the students, February and March are really, really important months for those applying for scholarships and admissions, because those are big deadline months. So students, when they're, when you're putting together your deadlines calendar, keep an eye on those 2 months, make sure you don't miss any of those deadlines. And just remember, February and March are very, very important for both financial aid, scholarships, and admissions. Mark your calendars, don't miss them, set alarms, something, but reminders for yourself, because those are really big months. And then can we go back to the previous slide real quick? I had one on that one.
Oh, sorry. These slides were weird.
No worries.
There we go.
So selective service, I wanted to mention that for the young men that are listening to this call, I just want to explain really quick what that is.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it might sound a little bit intimidating. So
yes,
selective service is something that our country requires for any young men who are 18 or older. I believe up to the age of 24, 26. I think it's 24. And so you have to be registered. And if that, the only reason is if there were ever a draft, or we were in a, World War III or something like that, then that's the system of people that would be called upon. It doesn't mean you're signing up for the Army or, military. That's not what it is. It's just, in order for students, young male students, to qualify for that financial aid, they do have to be registered with selective service by,
is that even an option on the FAFSA now? I think it is.
Yes. And so
when they fill out FAFSA, they can do it too. Yeah,
so if you do FAFSA even on October 1st, so next Thursday, for those of you doing it in 2020, that application has an option where they can automatically enroll you into selective service. So that's actually the easiest way to do it. While you're doing FAFSA, might as well just click that box, say, I'm not enrolled, please enroll me. It's done. But if you don't do it on your FAFSA, you can do it separately. And I think it's on one of the government websites. You could probably find it online. But just keep that in mind. I just wanted to mention that.
No, thank you. That's good. And it is the law. They have to register. You can't choose not to register.
So it sounds scary.
I put it on there, but it's not. Yep.
Yeah. So also on the chat for those listening currently, I put a link to Virtual Tours website. That website has not all colleges, but many colleges are on there in case those of you are, stuck at home, can't really go in person for college visits. That's a really good resource for you if you want to see a virtual 3D sort of 360 degree angle views of campuses.